as we're talking, Jimmy Haslam, the owner, is speaking today and told reporters that drafting Shadur Sanders was definitely Andrew Berry's idea, and also that he is unsure why so many of his players have domestic violence issues and that they're looking into that. So good to see that he's got everything kind of locked down and under
Good
control.
vibes. Good vibes from Brad's camp.
Great vibes from Browns. Did you leave? I mean, so every year I do the all 272, and you're predicting every single game because I think it's
Yep.
the only fair way to predict an NFL
That was a
season.
Jonathan Jones original, right? Wasn't that what it
Jonathan Jones original. Yep. Shout out to the Master Chef for cooking that one up. But I am finding it hard to give the Browns wins. Did you see anything
Well, the
that
first 6 weeks are a gauntlet. Like
right?
it's hard to find a win there, like before Halloween. I think if you look at it.
And
Um,
did you experience anything at camp, see anything at camp that would lead me to believe that, like, that I'm wrong?
so here's my take on the Browns. I think they're in a transition phase that's not that they maybe aren't terming. They aren't terming it that way, but it's what it is. And so I think that right now they're going through a. We've gotten older in key spots. We've got Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Joel Bitonio. You know the names. Like you can go through them. Jack Conklin, that are still key members of our team. And we haven't been able to get younger in other areas, mostly because of the Deshaun Watson trade. And I think now is when they start that now here is where they're feeling the effects of the Deshaun Watson trade. Because those were first round picks in 22, 23, and 24. So those guys would be going into year 4, year 3, and year 2. And you can say, yeah, well, it's just one pick. Well, you can do more than just pick a player with those picks. You
Right.
can move around. You've got more flexibility. It changes the complexion of how you draft. So I think the cost of that trade is being felt on the roster now, in that I think there's sort of this gap, in almost generations of players there, which I think is why it was smart for Andrew Berry to make the trade that he did, because he was basically acknowledging we need more than one thing here. As great as Travis Hunter is, we need to build up the guts of the roster, and we need to get younger in a lot of areas. And so, the trade allows them to do that. They'll have 2 first-round picks next year. But, I mean, you could feel this is a team in transition thing there.
Yeah. By the way, the other thing that Jimmy Haslam said, and I just think it's worth bringing up because just given some of the things that I'm tracking in the NFL, he said that he doesn't know Arch Manning at all, but he thinks that he will be in college football for at least 2 more years, and that
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
2 more years, you think?
Yeah.
Like
he'll
this
play.
season and next season?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
What
And
in his
that
family's history, I don't know if we've talked about this in the podcast. I've certainly written about it. What in his family's history would indicate to anybody that he's coming out after a single year?
I would say, unless here's the hypothetical,
He plays well enough to be the first pick, and he loves the team that has the first pick.
or that he knows, like, think about it this way. This is like a fun hypothetical that I think deserves its own episode, but I'll plant the seeds here. Imagine if you're the Manning family brain trust, right? And the Rams somehow get the number 1 pick. Okay. Sean McVay, I surveyed 25 NFL people for the draft preview issue and asked them, if you were a Manning and you got to rig the draft in any way, shape, or form, who would you want your son to be coached by? And it was McVay in a landslide, with Kevin O'Connell kind of bringing up the rear at number 2, and Kyle Shanahan in the mix there too. What if you knew that Sean McVay was getting the pick? Just
that is an interesting question.
But we'll table that. We'll address it later. I'm not going
to. I would just say this. I would say there's the obvious, which is his uncles both exhausted their college eligibility. There's also data out there that says that the line of demarcation is up around 25 starts. That if you have less than 25 starts, the track record with young quarterbacks is not as good.
Mm-hmm.
Which obviously I'm sure they're acutely aware of. And then there's just how Cooper's handle it with his son. You know what I mean? Everything with him, everything everything around him has been so, let's give this kid as normal a life as we possibly can. I think they deserve credit for that. Like, it's like there's not much social media with him. There was no recruiting. Like, the recruiting hoopla was not coming from him whatsoever. It was everybody else. And he sat for 2 years at Texas, right? Like,
Right.
a lot of kids in this day and age would not wait 2 years if they were a 5-star the way Arch Manning was, and he sat 2 years and waited his turn. So everything to me points towards that. On top of it, he's making good money. You know?
That too.
So I don't know. I just think it would take, like, again, him playing well enough to be the first overall pick, which we are not there yet, as much as everybody wants to make that so. And then, like you said, like a perfect situation. I think we're saying the same thing. A perfect situation manifesting with the team that has the first pick.
He seemed to specifically address and downplay the idea that Nick Saban is coming back to coach the Browns and then bring Arch Manning with him. That is, all respect in the world to Colin Cowherd, who is one of the true GOATs. That is a talk radio, like, just
Colin
chef's kiss. Like, oh
Colin
my God.
asked me about it. Yeah. Like, it was, he and I did a segment that his social people could not wait to get out there.
Yeah. I don't think if Nick Saban is coming back, I don't think he's going to the Cleveland Browns. Just my thought. I don't know if Miss Terry is leaving their pearly gates of Tuscaloosa for
if they weren't
Ohio.
satisfied with Miami. Yeah, I don't know. I love you, Ohio, mean it. Like, but I don't know. Although they are from, the Sabans are from relatively close to there, so there is that.
Yeah,
they wouldn't quite be coming home, but I mean, and he did coach for the Browns.
I don't know, man.
From West Virginia.
That's a tough sell for me.
Could avenge his best friend there.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to get sucked into this one. But just beautiful job by Colin Cowherd. I thought that was just perfect radio. It's exactly how it should be done in the medium. Any other parting thoughts from Cleveland, Albert?
I mean, I think the main thing is like it's the quarterback situation is obviously the big one, and I do think one of the two veterans is going to start. And like from what I understand, Dylan Gabriel is much closer to being ready to play than Shedeur Sanders. Wouldn't be ideal to put Dylan Gabriel out there week one, but I think they feel like, all right, like we can see where this kid could be functional, playing in week one. And maybe by the middle of the year, he's actually, not that he would, like, is he good enough to merit starting? That's a different question, but be ready to go handle himself in an NFL game and run an NFL offense. I don't think they're there yet with Shedeur. Shedeur's made progress. I mean, people didn't want to hear it before the draft, but what teams found was that he was behind.
Yeah.
Significantly behind.
Yeah.
And like, they were surprised that somebody coming from Pat Shurmur's offense at Colorado would be that far behind, but he was. And that's what the Browns found when they got him in May. It was that he was behind. He had a ton of ground to make up. And, he's way behind Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco, but even the gap, just from a football know-how standpoint, between him and Dylan Gabriel is significant, which is why he isn't getting any first-team reps.
He also had Sean Lewis, who's now the head coach at San Diego State, as his offensive coordinator during his first year at Colorado. And I had NFL people. This is how funny this is. Like, watching their offense for the first couple weeks of the season, I had one prospective NFL head coach call me and see if I knew him to put the two of them in touch, because he was like, if I get hired as a head coach, I want that guy to be my offensive coordinator.
And
like,
they ran him out of there.
And but at the time, what he was doing, I think, was pretty impressive, and he had a strong track record at Kent State before that, and so I mean he had some help in college, but I was glad, Albert, that I think everybody stopped asking Shedeur why he's not getting first team reps. God bless that the death of that storyline. and I'll just say this to kind of put a button on it. We've seen the highlights from camp, and I want you to backstop me on this. Please take them with proper perspective. Like, there was a Shadur touchdown that was floating around on Monday, and he must have been in the pocket for 13 and a half seconds before he finally threw that ball, to the point where the defenders were giving up. Yeah.
Did have an aggregator tweeting it out with like
shocking.
Shadur is going to be special, all caps, and then like the mind blown emoji.